Alright, guys. I know I said the last one was going to be the last video, but I do have like small bloopers. It's like 2 minutes long, and it's literally only 2 outtakes because they're the only ones I have still. But I do want to say thank you for coming on this magical journey with me. Bet it took a lot. I would like to say, if you have any requests of the story, and I really wanted to get this done sooner, but like I said, I really haven't had time recently, and I started this at like 10:30ish, and it is now 1:52 a.m. and it's gonna be like 2:15 or so when I finish this, so I'll actually tell you the time when I finish it. But this is gonna be the last chapter, chapter 18. Well, it's chapter 5, but this is part 18. There's 18 parts of this because I talk a lot. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoy the final chapter. And I'm sorry if my voice is a little raspy. It's from doing characters, or at least trying to do characters, and reading a lot, I guess. So, and it's also later on at night, so yeah. It's been I've been doing this for 2 hours or so now. So yeah, let's get into the final episode I'm putting out. At least for To the Moon, Drarry. Finale. Alright. Vince followed the trail of slack-jawed, staring paintings to the Slytherin common room. There, it was only a matter of unlocking the dorm room door from the spell Draco had put on it. Normally, Vince thought Vince might have had a problem. However, Draco was obviously not in his best form today, as it only took Vince a matter of minutes to end the spell. When he finally entered the dorm, he found Draco sitting on the bed, arms clenched around a worried poppet. The blonde was rocking slowly back and forth, staring wide-eyed out into the room. Vince moved forward carefully, making enough noise so as to not startle the boy. He gently eased down on the bed, barely disturbing the duvet. "Draco?" he asked quietly, no response forthcoming. He reached out to touch Draco's hand. A frightened yelp was his answer, and he jerked his hand back quickly. Draco continued to curl away from his friend. "Draco, I wanted to tell you that I am proud of you for standing up for your father." Vince tried. A strange sound escaped Draco's lips. It took Vince a moment to realize it was laughter. Then the laughter built until Draco was pushing hysterics. Still, he flinched from any touch Vince attempted. The door opened, and Vince glanced worriedly at Greg. He shrugged, helpless to fix the strange new infliction. Greg eased down on the bed as well, causing Draco to flinch again. However, he stopped laughing. He went back to staring. Poppet mewed her support, and Draco lovingly began to pet her head, still not seemingly aware of anything. They sat for long moments. Draco staring into nothingness, Vince and Greg staring at Draco. Eventually, Draco kissed Poppet on the head and carefully set her down. He looked up into the concerned eyes of his 2 oldest friends. "Please, take me to Harry," he whispered. Harry slouched in the cushiony armchair. He just watched his hair dripping slightly into his fresh set of robes. He refused to go to Madame Pomfrey even when Headmaster Dumbledore suggested it. Instead, he went straight for the shower and spent nearly 20 minutes scrubbing the remains of Lucius Malfoy from under his nails. His hands hurt like mad. They were beginning to swell, but he refused to seek treatment. He refused to move. He had flopped in the chair almost 10 minutes ago, and he hadn't moved so much as a muscle since then. The common room was full of students quietly working or playing games. Harry wasn't fooled. He could see them watching him out of the corner of his eyes, waiting for an explanation that he simply wasn't going to give them. Ron sat nearby playing chess with Seamus. Hermione and Neville sat to their left, theoretically poring over their Charms text. The only one who wasn't making any sort of effort to hide their concern and curiosity was Ginny. She sat in the chair across from Harry, blankly staring at him. He'd taken to shutting his eyes so that her pointed blue gaze wouldn't force any answers out of him. Such, he didn't notice when the young second year stumbled up to her and shifted anxiously from foot to foot as he stared at Harry. Ginny sighed and stood. She tugged the second year out of earshot. "What is the problem, Ashford?" she snapped quietly. The second year just pointed at the portrait. Ginny rolled her eyes and headed in that direction. She opened the portrait and things began clicking into place. "Here to see Harry?" she questioned. At Crabbe and Goyle's brief nods, she stepped aside and pointed to the back of the common room. They nodded again and gently heard a fragile-looking Malfoy among beside him. They drew closer. Hermione looked up. Her eyes widened, and she reached over to poke Harry in his side. His eyes popped open, and he glared at her. Nonetheless, he followed to her pointing her finger until it came to rest on the object. In his misery, he leaped out of the chair and, startling Seamus so much that the Irish boy knocked over the chessboard. Harry didn't stop to apologize. He continued heading to meet the Slytherins in the middle of the common room. They stopped about 5 feet in between them and just stared at one another. Finally, Harry bit the profitable bullet. "Hi," he managed. The corners of Draco's mouth twitched. "Hi," he responded. Harry felt himself losing control of the mature mask he'd donned since 3 weeks ago. He lost his beloved Draco. He knew he was one shy look, or one tear away from dragging Draco Malfoy into his arms and never letting go again. "Draco, I'm so sorry," he tried. Draco held up a hand, and Harry fell silent, his heart aching with every beat. I've had a really strange last few weeks, Draco began softly. The last 3, however, had been the worst I've ever spent my life. Harry looked sickened at the thought at having caused Sorry, I lost where I was at. I really apologize. Draco held up a hand. Harry fell silent. Started aching with every beat. I'd had a really strange last few weeks. Harry began softly. The last 3, however, have been my worst I've spent in my life. Harry looked sickened at having caused any of Draco's discomfort. I've run the gauntlet from relief to terrified out of my mind. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do to make it make sense again. He shrugs slightly. I've been thinking about how I felt as a child this time around. I wasn't scared. I wasn't going insane. And I've tried to distinguish just what it was that was so pivotal. The difference between who I was then and who I am now. He gazed up at Harry, his eyes deep confusion and pain. The only thing I can come up with is you. Harry bit back a moan and clenched his hand tightly to keep from flinging his arms around the blonde. You protected me with your presence. You just seemed to radiate safety. However, I knew that no matter what went wrong or how scared I was or even how fucked up everything was turning out, all I needed to make my world right was to feel your arms around me. Draco smiled wearily. I know I'm not 5 anymore. I know that most of what I felt was probably just fond remembrances of childhood I wanted to have, but instead of the one I actually did. But I couldn't help but hope. His voice cracked. Whoa, that was weird timing. Sorry. His voice cracked and his tear slipped down his cheek. Harry felt himself move forward slightly before he could catch it. Hope that maybe it wasn't only because I was ignorant. I was an ignorant child. That maybe if I say I'm scared you told me, everything would make sense again. Tears were coming faster now, creating a shining silver streak against the pale flesh of his face. I don't know anything. His breath hitched out on a sob. He stared into Harry's face, searching for answers. I'm scared, Harry. He whispered, and I want you to hold me again. Harry's arms were around Draco before the Slytherin could finish the sentence. He rocked him, crowing words of comfort into his ears. Draco's arms slid around Harry's waist and held on with a death grip as sobs racked the slender body. Harry shuffled them a few steps to the left, and they collapsed on the couch that had hurriedly been emptied of its Gryffindor occupants as they saw Harry coming. As Harry cuddled Draco in his arms, softly whispering soft promises and soothing praises in his ears, Hermione stood and waved the gawking students off to their dorm rooms. When the last of the Gryffindors had vanished, Hermione turned to Grey convinced. She smiled wearily at them. A brief hug later, she was ushering them out the portrait hole and heading upstairs herself. She paused to take one last look at the two boys curled up on one another on the couch. A smile stole over her lips, and she made her way up to the room. Draco eventually cried himself out. Even the shudders that racked his body stopped. Harry... Ow. Sorry, I hit my elbow. Harry held him the whole while dropping reassuring kisses on Draco's blonde head. In due course, Draco looked up at Harry. He smiled lovingly at him. Feeling better, Puppet? He whispered, thinking that even with red eyes and puffy cheeks, that Draco Malfoy was the most beautiful beautiful man he'd ever laid eyes on. Draco cracked a tiny smile and nodded, snuggling down into Harry's arms again. I'm sorry I've been such an arse these last few weeks, he murmured. Harry kissed his head again. It's okay. You've had a pretty shitty past these few weeks. You weren't expected to act as though nothing had happened, and since you were offering apologies, he snorted. I'm sorry I attacked your father. Draco looked up, a weary smile on his face. Really? Harry looked embarrassed and sighed. Alright. Oh, alright. No, I'm not. I'm not really sorry I did it. I'm just sorry I scared you with it. Draco picked up one of the hands, caressing his arms. Harry's hands were beginning to show signs of bruising along with the swelling. You didn't get them healed? Draco asked curiously. Harry shook his head. I hate that you're hurting because of me. Wait, what? No. I hate that you're hurting because of me, Draco reapproached. Harry shook his head. I'm not hurting for you, love. Never because of you. I'm wearing these hands for me, actually. To remind me how close I came to killing a man. Draco shuddered. They would have put you in Azkaban. He nearly whimpered. Maybe, Harry shrugged. But that bastard would have been dead. He would have never been able to hurt you again, and all in all, it would have been an acceptable loss for me. Loss? Draco asked confusedly. My freedom for your safety. But this way we have both, Draco argued. You're free. I know that whatever happens, you'll keep me safe. Harry loved the trust shining in those grey eyes. He wrapped his arms back around Draco so that Draco sighed happily. Where do we go from here? Harry shrugged. Oh. So, Harry sighed. What? So, Draco sighed happily. Where do we go from here? Harry shrugged. I don't really know. All I know for sure is that I want to go there. I want to go there with you. Draco looked up cheekily. Even if it's the moon? Harry dropped a gentle kiss, their very first, onto Draco's lips. He relived in the warm and returned desire Draco offered him. To the moon and back, love. To the moon, love, and back. And that was to the moon. Alright, so, let me know what you thought. Make sure you do go, vote on all their stories, or at least, read it yourself if you would like. But I do want to express that I did not write this story. This story is by BarihaZahra, and I recommend you do check them out because it's a really cute story, and if you would like to read it yourself, you may have been able to do it faster, and that way you can add your own voices to it instead of just listening to somebody else read it, I guess. And especially because I kind of would change some swear words because I don't really like swearing. It's just, but there's some points where I'm like, huh, because I kind of want to give you the full thing, but I don't. Swearing kind of makes me uncomfortable, especially if it's me swearing. But like I said, the story was great. I personally voted on all the chapters, which there are only 5 chapters, but the chapters are long. I did not know that when I started reading it. I wanted not like a one shot. I wanted something I could do in like multiple parts. I did not realize like a chapter was gonna take like 4 videos. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, it, like I said, I believe this is the author. And if the author somehow like stumbles upon this and you want me to take all the videos down or like private them so that they're not public anymore, because I did not get their permission like I probably should have, I might try and private message them later on to make sure it's okay. And if not, if these videos all get deleted and like privated or something, I'm gonna be like a little upset. Not really, because I probably should have asked, and that's on me. That's my fault. That's my wrongdoing, and I feel bad because I didn't ask. But yeah, I would definitely recommend checking their story out. I'm not sure if they have any other stories out that you can look at, but I will look for you now, especially if it's like, if you are interested in Drarry. Yeah, Drarry's great, and no, okay, so they only ever did one story, and that is the To the Moon. And it actually says story by Your Average Fangirl, so you may be able to find her that way by typing in Your Average Fangirl. And yeah, and I think I did say a time earlier, and when I said it was gonna be done, I was probably gonna finish this around like 2:15 a.m. I think I said that. I hope I said that, or I'll, because it is so close. Oh wait, can you not see it? Oh, there it is. Can you see that? It is 2:13. Oh yeah. Exposing myself. Yeah, it's 2:14. So I think I could tell that pretty well, but it's a cute story. Recommend it. And yeah, give them some love, and if you have any other stories you would like me to read and hopefully get out, just comment below what you would like. And yeah, lots of love. Peace.